All right, hey guys, Jason here. We are back up here. It is still in Georgia, even though we got the snow here. But we're up here at Franklin Chevy GMC dealer, and we're just wandering around their lot, taking a look at some of the stuff they got. And we're going to talk today about do dealerships hate you if you negotiate with them? How do they feel about that? And does it affect you in your buying experience? This is an easy one, but there's basically three different types of people that buy cars. Remember, you might think that you know what you're doing when it comes to these. You might think because you bought 4, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15, 20 new trucks that you know the game. You might think that you're going to pull one over on a dealership. You might think you're going to rob them and steal this vehicle from them and get the best deal there ever is. And I understand that. I don't have any problem with that. It's a great thing. But remember that the sales guy here, the managers, the sales manager, the finance manager, these guys do this every single day, 6 days a week, nonstop, and they've seen everybody. They know who you are, how you work, what you're doing. They probably know what you're going to say next, and it doesn't matter what level of where you fit into that, which is 3 basic different levels, and we'll cover those in a minute, but they know. Okay, they understand it. The ownership of the dealership, that sets these rules and these regulations and stuff, as does the finance manager. This isn't their first rodeo. Okay, you're not the first good negotiator or the worst negotiator they've ever seen, or you're not better. Again, it's your money and it's your deal, and you get to make that happen, and you get the final say in whether you're doing it or not doing it. But they actually are the ones that have to say, yes, we'll let you do that. So we're going to break that down. What are those 3 types? We're going to cover that. Interestingly enough, notice this dealership is closed. We are closed today. It is Wednesday. The whole town is shut down because we got 3 inches of snow, which is already pretty much melted now by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But the whole town, everywhere you go and everything you see here, other than gas stations for the most part, is closed because of that little bit of snow that you see here. Literally shut the entire state of Georgia down. Pretty crazy. So what are these 3 types? These 3 types. One, their favorite is the MSRP guy. He walks in, he says, I need a new truck, and he comes on the lot and he looks at it and he says, I want this one right here, and he's like, that's what I'm after. I like the black. I want a 2500. This is it. This is the motor I want. This is everything. And does it got a window sticker on this side? It does. He comes over here and he looks at it and he says that it's $76,000 right there. He says, okay, what kind of rebates do you have on it? Anything like that? What can we do? They say, oh, we got a $5,000 Chevy rebate. He says, perfect. So $71,000, let's do it. And he buys it. They run his credit check, and he gets it, and he gets his approval. They come back to him, and they tell him, your rate's at 6%. He's like, I remember when I used to be able to get it for 4%. That sucks, but let's do it, and he buys it. Okay, that is the number 1 type that the dealership deals with, and they love it the most. The people that just don't know any better, and they're just going to come in and they're an MSRP minus promotions buyer, minus the rebates, the simple, what everybody gets, and they just walk in and they do it and they're done, and that's it. And most people are that way because they're going to keep these things for a long time. They buy 1 truck every 8-10 years. They're not into this kind of a thing, so it makes perfect sense. We understand that. Then there's the second kind. The second kind is the guy that thinks he knows something. He's got a little bit of negotiation skills. He thinks he's going to pull one over. He's going to dominate the show, and he's going to be in charge. And dealers love these guys too, because they understand that the customer thinks he's on top of everything, and he thinks he's got this game by the balls, basically, and he's going to come in acting that way. And the dealership sees that, they know it, and they understand it, and they're going to go right along with it. And at the end of the day, the guy who buys the truck gets a little bit. He gets a better deal than the MSRP guy minus rebates. He gets a little bit more off, and he does a really good job. And he feels like he took advantage of the dealer and got a steal, and he's a major winner, and he's very excited. And the dealership knows that they made out better than anticipated, and they expected him and did very well too. So it's a win-win for everybody. Customer feels like he did fantastic. Dealer knows they did fantastic. It's a win-win. These are the guys that don't understand sell rate and buy rate and all these kind of things, and the hidden expenses and the stuff in there that the dealers have up their sleeve that they use to their advantage. Doesn't understand it. He lowballed him on his trade-in offer to make an extra $2,000, even though he only gave him an extra $1,000 off on a truck. But this guy thinks he got the rebates plus another $1,000. He thought he got a good deal on his trade-in. These guys, they love it. Okay, the dealerships love these people, and they make them a lot of money, and it is a great thing because, again, so far in our whole scenario, the dealership wins and the customer wins. The MSRP minus rebate guy feels very good because he did very well. He's excited. He's pumped up. He's like, I went out, I got my truck. I'm happy. I didn't negotiate. I don't play games. I just go buy it. I don't care. He's happy. The guy who, our mid-level guy, the one that did a little negotiation and thought he did really good, thinks he did really good. And he's very, very happy, and that's fantastic. Then there's the third type. That's the negotiating crew. That's these hardcore guys that know how to do this stuff and play the game well. And this is the stuff I teach you about in videos. It educates you for that. I teach you about sell rate and buy rate, how to avoid the fees and get them removed, how to understand the games that the dealerships are playing with out-the-door pricing, how the window sticker is irrelevant, how invoice pricing. Oh, we got a video coming out about that we're making later on. Invoice pricing, the biggest joke of the entire automotive industry is invoice pricing. We'll cover that. Some of you guys are probably like, oh, you lost me when you said that's a joke. Well, you know what? You'll see it in a future video and I'll explain it better for you. But invoice pricing is something that people in that middle tier play with. Okay, and that's okay. But when these people that are top tier negotiators and they start playing this stuff and doing it right, do you think the dealership hates them because they're actually able to get the deals down low? No, they don't. Not even a little bit. The reason they don't hate them or have a problem with those guys is because the dealerships have the power to move a vehicle or not move a vehicle. The customer has the power to choose whether he wants to buy said vehicle or not. And so there's where it lies into. And when the agreement is made, even if the offer is lower, look at this. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got like 5 of the same exact trucks sitting right here. Okay, they're basically, probably some differences, but they're basically the same type truck sitting right here. Now, one guy comes in and buys it at MSRP, another guy comes in and buys this one at MSRP, and another guy comes in and he thinks he got a good deal. He's a middle tier guy, and he buys that one, and he's all excited. And so they've sold these 3, and then they got this one right here left. And this order could change, but you come in and you negotiate a great deal on this one. Do you think he cares? He made more money on these 2 and then good money on that one. He doesn't care to let this one go and he'd rather get rid of it. And so he can refill all these spots with something other than a white, basic, simple work truck style. He wants more of these red Z71s in here. And he knows he's not going to get them through allegation until he moves some of these. So he's willing to let it go. So yes, they're not upset. It's a very good relationship, even if you negotiate good with a dealer. They do not get mad at you. They do not feel butthurt. They are not upset. They do not feel taken advantage of by any means. So do not be afraid to play the games and push the envelope and try and take it down further. And I'll tell you what they do not tolerate, and I don't blame them. No dealership or salesperson or anything like that will tolerate an attitude. If you come in here thinking you're all that and act like, I'm not going to let you tell me this, I'll tell you what I'm paying. They're like, get lost, dude. Okay, they want kindness, they want respect, they want to be treated right, and they're willing to work with you and deal with you, but they do not want to deal with attitude, arrogance, things like that kind of stuff. They won't tolerate that. They want it to be a good experience on both sides for both of you guys. So don't think for a second you're going to get away with playing the arrogant game or the I'm cool game, or you're going to be a jerk to them. They won't tolerate that. But as far as you being an incredible negotiator and making incredible deals happen, if you think for 1 second that dealership is mad or feels taken advantage of because you got a smoking deal on it, you're wrong. They love that you did. They love that you bought the vehicle from them. They love that they were able to make that deal happen for you. They love that you were able to buy it there. They like everything about it. Do they wish they got an extra $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 out of you for doing it? Yeah, but they bought it. You bought it, and they sold it, and it's a win-win for everybody. So don't think for a second that because you're trying to negotiate with a dealership, that a dealership's going to be mad at you, or they don't like you, or that they're going to feel taken advantage of, or that it's going to change anything. They have the power, and they have dealt with your kind many times before, and they understand how the game works. So, go crazy, enjoy it, have fun, see what you can do. Don't be afraid to push the limits. Don't be afraid to lower the numbers. Don't be afraid to stretch the line out and make it happen for you. They will not let it go unless they are comfortable with the deal. It is that simple. They own the power to that. Just like you own the power to not buy it unless the deal is exactly what you're looking for. And usually, if the deal doesn't happen today on like this truck and you want this one, If it doesn't happen on it today, you might be able to do it again in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month later at a different dealership on a different version, but the same exact truck. Never give in until you find exactly what you're looking for, price and deal wise. Let me know your comments down below. What are you thinking? Thanks for watching.